Gadolyn is, in my opinion, the most important improvement in the rare earth permanent magnet manufacturing supply chain in my lifetime. The legacy method of making rare earth metals and alloys, which we've been doing now for 25 years, almost entirely in China, are very expensive to make in terms of energy and the special forms of chemicals that have to be manufactured in order to do these processes, which are extremely toxic and even worse, very expensive to handle and to get rid of. It's called molten salt electrolysis. And no other method so far has proven to work commercially. China's Ministry of Commerce has recently prohibited the export of equipment and technology related in any way to the total supply chain of rare earth permanent magnets. This, to me, is a wake-up call. The molten salt electrolysis is a failed system because it produces a substantial amount of toxic material. The energy need for molten salt electrolysis production of rare earth metals and alloys is huge. It's the most expensive component of the manufacturing process. Gadolyn's approach to making rare earth metals and alloys is a lower cost, safer system for making rare earth metals and alloys than has ever before existed. And in my opinion, a full-scale plant using the Gadolyn process will be the most profitable and competitive rare earth metal and alloy plant on the planet, and I'm including those in China. When I first heard about Gadolyn, I was very skeptical because I've heard about all of these technologies so many times in my career, and so far none of them has panned out. When I saw Gadolyn's reactor, I was amazed by the simplicity, because the more complex a reactor, the less likely it is to be economically operational. They turned it on, we went to lunch. The actual running time of the reactor was 10 minutes, not one day as it would in molten salt electrolysis. It converted mixed oxides to rare earth permanent magnet alloys, 2 types. The principal of the company showed me calculations on the cost, and I was absolutely astounded because I expected to see the costs destroy any value to this innovation. In fact, by lowering the cost of making the metals and alloys, you dramatically reduce the cost of making the magnets and the motors. The environmental impact is sort of a joke. The exit gas from the system is H2O, water. Okay, nobody has a problem with that. The use of electricity is 1 or 2% of the use in molten salt electrolysis. Therefore, rather than having to build a plant with a special power drop for the enormous amounts of power you need to do this, you can use ordinary materials off the shelf to build such a plant. And as far as efficiency goes, this is a system that will produce all of the rare earth metals, all of the rare earth alloys, and in a single step. The biggest choke point in the manufacturing of rare earth permanent magnets here has been making the correct metals and alloys for the magnet makers to do their job. Gadolyn solves that problem. I think the Gadolyn process by itself changes the dynamic of the economics of manufacturing rare earth permanent magnet motors permanently and positively for us. And that's why I'm totally in support of this. I think when you do the economics, you're going to find out that in the next generation, America will be the low-cost provider of rare earth permanent magnets. I started working in rare earths in 1962. Okay, very little has changed since that time, but I'm going to admit that Gadolyn is taking a leap forward, and I'm going to predict that the Gadolyn process will be the principal process used to manufacture rare earth metals and alloys by the end of this decade. America will be competing in this space, and Gadolyn will be the preferred technology for making metals and alloys. Guarantee it.